Are these wildcards worth your money compared to any other way you can build your collection? Let's find out when they might be. Welcome back to the Game School Dad channel with me, Martin, and today we're looking at whether these wildcards up here, these rare and mythic wildcards, are worth your money. Whether it's worth spending $10 on 4 rare wildcards or $20 on 4 mythic wildcards compared to any other way you could build your collection. So if we start with the rare wildcards, you could spend $10 on 4 rare wildcards, or you could spend $10 on gems instead, just for something to compare it to. So $10 on gems gives us 1,600 gems. And this is the worst case, because if you spent $100 on gems, you'd get 2,000 gems for the same $10, but 10 times over. So this is the better deal. We're going to work on this smaller deal first. 1,600 gems would get you 8 packs. 8 packs would get you 8 steps closer on your golden pack progress, and would also give you 8 steps around on your wildcard tracks up here. So those 8 packs would get you 8 rare or mythic cards from opening the packs, another 6 rare or mythic cards if you open a golden pack, and the golden pack would give you an extra step round on the wildcard track, so every 6 steps around would give you 1 uncommon and 1 rare wildcard anyway. You also have a chance when you're opening a pack that your normal pack will give you a rare wildcard or mythic wildcard in place of the normal rare card in that top slot. So on average, if we open 8 packs, it's going to be worth 14 standard legal rare or mythic cards, with at least 1.7 of those on average being a wild card in itself. So you're most likely to get 12 rare cards and 2 wild cards just from opening the packs. And also all the commons and uncommons might count towards your vault progress as well, but I'm just looking at the rares for now. But I suppose the commons and uncommons you'll open should also count towards the benefit of buying the packs instead. So if you're most likely to get at least 2 rare wildcards just from buying the packs, plus all the other standard legal rares or mythics and commons and uncommons you'll get from the packs, the only benefit you're getting from buying the 4 rare wildcards instead is you're getting 2 rare wildcards instead of 12 other rares or mythics. And I can't think of many instances when having 2 rare wildcards is worth more than having 12 other rares or mythics, apart from this one instance. If you are trying to build a top tier historic or explorer deck and you need another 40 specific rare cards to fill out that deck, then maybe you want to spend some money on getting some extra rare wildcards specifically. But that's only if you don't care at all about your standard collection, because if you care about your standard collection at all, I imagine you would want to have those 12 other rare or mythic cards that are standard legal anyway, instead of having just 2 more rare wildcards. In fact, Wizards of the Coast have also specifically said that this deal is not here for someone just to fill out their collection. These deals are here for people who want very specific cards and just need maybe a couple of others to fill out a specific deck. And we shouldn't forget there's a chance of those rare cards or wild cards we're getting from opening the packs to be upgraded to mythic anyway. So I think there's a good chance that if you buy the packs, you're likely to get better value than buying the wild cards, even if you just want to build a specific historic or explorer deck and need those cards. And things get much worse if we're actually spending $100 on getting 20,000 gems, because then every $10 is getting us 2,000 gems, which is 10 packs. 10 packs would give us the whole golden pack progress bar, which means we're definitely going to get a golden pack from that. You would then open 18 rares or mythics from the current standard set, including at least on average 2.1 of those being wildcards, which could be rare wildcards or mythic anyway. So that's even more rares or mythics from the standard set that you would get instead of having these 2 wildcards extra, which is the only benefit you get from buying the 4 wildcards themselves, because we get at least 2 rare wildcards in just opening packs, which is pretty much guaranteed from the wildcard track here, because opening 10 packs and a golden pack is 11 packs. If we only have 1 progress already on this track, then we're going to get all the way around once, and again that's 2 rare wildcards at the very least, if they're not mythic. So if we're buying the packs, there's also the chance of the rare cards being upgraded to mythic cards. So we're getting even more value from the packs in theory, or potentially. So even in that one very specific instance of trying to build a very specific, expensive, historic or explorer deck that needs lots of rare cards, you might want to get the wild cards, but even then, I don't really see the point in having this offer here. And then when we're looking at buying 4 mythic wildcards for $20, we could be opening 20 packs instead. If we open 20 normal packs, that would give us 36 rare or mythic standard legal cards, including 4.2 of those on average being wildcards themselves. Now in this case, there's more chance of getting rare wildcards than mythic wildcards if you're just opening normal packs. So there's a slight benefit in spending $20 on the mythic wildcards, but you could just buy the mythic packs instead. If you buy the mythic packs instead, they're going to cost 1,300 gold each instead of 1,000 gold for the normal packs, or 260 gems if we're going by the gems cost. And if we want to compare the mythic wildcards directly to the gems, we could spend $20 on 3,400 gems instead, which could buy us 13 mythic packs at 260 gems each. Opening 13 mythic packs plus the golden pack that we get from that would give us on average 23.4 rare or mythic cards. Any of the mythic packs will give us a mythic card unless there's a 1 in 30 chance it's upgraded to a rare wild card, which you might not want if you're looking for mythic wild cards anyway. And the golden pack will give us some rares, not all mythics from opening them. But even so, that's 23.4 rare or mythic cards, mostly mythic, that we're going to get from opening the packs, including 2.7 of those roughly on average being wildcards themselves. Again, rare wildcards rather than mythic wildcards in the majority of cases. So in this case, I guess you're more likely to get mythic wildcards by buying the mythic wildcard bundle rather than buying the mythic packs, because the mythic packs will help you improve your collection of standard legal cards, but aren't going to help you improve your collection of historic or explorer cards if you want to make a deck that's full of mythics in historic or explorer. I guess the best thing about this is that most of the top tier decks that I've encountered at least use maybe more rares than mythics. Maybe because there's a smaller collection of mythics in each set, and so there's less synergy between them because they have to spread across all the colours. Maybe you're going to have a higher ratio of rare cards than mythic cards in any high performing deck. So although if you want to get mythic wildcards specifically, this is probably the best way of getting those mythic wildcards. For the majority of people, you'd prefer to have all those extra rare or mythic standard legal cards than have a couple of extra wildcards guaranteed. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Would you really spend this much just to have a couple of extra guaranteed mythic or rare wildcards? Or would you much rather have a whole load of rares and mythics that are standard legal from the current set and a few from other standard legal sets, and all the commons and uncommons that you get that add towards your vault progress or just completing your collection, rather than having a couple of extra specific cards? So I'd love to know what you think, and don't forget you can like this video and subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on any future content on MTG Arena. Let me know if you have any questions you want me to have a look at. Leave them in the comments below and I'll see if I can add them to my upcoming video schedule. Thanks for staying to the end, I really appreciate your support, but that's all we've got time for today, and I will see you in the next video.